Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Idiots Review. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Hannah, and we have a new wall. We've had this artwork for a while. Some of it for
a long
well, this is all stuff we got from Comic-Con. Oh yeah, it is. So it actually hasn't been that long. We got this in October. And we've been meaning to put this up. Just got real lazy. But so yeah, hopefully we'll be adding a little more to the ends and around.
New year, new wall.
Yeah, new year. But so anyways, we are going to be giving our wish lists for the year in movies and
TV shows,
and all that kind of stuff.
The stuff that we usually talk about on here.
Yes, so things that we want to see or not see, depending on the case. And yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to have a bunch of stuff coming up this year.
So much
There's
stuff.
going to be a lot because there's
so many
lot
movies, so many TV shows, so many big things like Game of Thrones. You got Avengers Endgame, all the same month.
All the stuff,
Stranger Things comes out this summer. Toy Story 4, Aladdin.
I mean, there's just
Lion King. Like the summer is going to be so packed.
Yeah, so we thought we'd just kind of give a rundown of our wish list for the year, and like, subscribe, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Let's jump into it. You want to go first?
Sure. Well, you have more than I do, so maybe you should go first.
All right, so this is a twofold wish for Arrow, that they either, one, get rid of Earth 2 Laurel, because it's too much. I actually rewatched the first season of Arrow. I actually just finished it. I don't know why. Just because I was like, oh, I like the first season. I'm going to rewatch it. First season Laurel was so good. And then she kind of went off the rails and got like whiny and annoying. And then they killed her off. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it. And I don't know, was it season 4 or 5? I don't know, one of those. But then they brought her back in the form of Earth 2 Laurel. It was fine at first, but now like she's a regular and she's like hanging around. So either get rid of her, which is what I would prefer, or at the very, very least, fix her plotline about her faking being the DA. Like, you cannot read a book and then be like, I can fake being a lawyer. So that doesn't, I think they actually made a joke about it already this season, because it's an absurd plotline. So they need to fix that, and I don't know how, but they need to fix it. And one also other thing about Arrow, they need to get rid of New Team Arrow, because I've never liked them. I liked Dinah when she first came on, and then she got real annoying really quick. But New Team Arrow, they've outstayed their welcome. They need to go.
All right, my first item on my wish list is for the movie Glass that comes out in a couple weeks. I hope that Nick Fury.
He's not playing Nick Fury in this.
I hope that Glass loses his opposite eye and becomes anti-Nick Fury.
That would be weird.
That's all I got. So I'll do her next one. I thought it was more of a joking one.
Mine is that Game of Thrones lives up to all the anticipation and delivers an amazing final season. Because when you've had to wait like 2 years...
I mean, yeah, people are just like,
we're
we
just
want it
like,
now.
yeah, it's like we want it, and like it just keeps building up in your mind, like, oh, this is going to be amazing, this is going to be amazing. So I'm hoping that it lives up to that, and that we don't watch it, and you're like, that was all right, and that Daenerys ends up on the throne.
I'll be getting back to that on my wish list in a little bit. My next item is for Stranger Things. Comes out July 4th. We finally know.
Was that one? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, is
July
that what
4th,
it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
And my wish list is simply that we explore a little bit more of the numbers, because we obviously have 11, and then I think we explored 8 or 9.
Her sister, yeah,
Whatever which one there is. Obviously, there's more out there because there's other numbers out there. So I would like to see a little bit more exploration of those experiments that the lab has done, and to see what like abilities or what side effects those other children have had. So that's something I would like to see in season 3.
My Stranger Things was just that it's the same as Game of Thrones, that we've had to wait a long time for this third season,
Yeah,
and
it'll be
that
almost 2
it
years
lives
as well.
up to all the anticipation as well, because having to wait that long for another season.
Yeah.
but
I'm
yeah,
excited
same
for it.
thing.
Hopefully,
I know.
Hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, that was my Stranger Things. So.
Oh, okay. Well, so then I have an Endgame one, which I know you probably do as well.
Yes.
But my Avengers Endgame wish list is simply that there's no time travel in the movie.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of time travel unless it's like Doctor Who, but that's just because that's what the whole show is about. So paradoxes and stuff don't really matter. In this one, yeah, there's a lot of rumors and speculation that there's going to be time travel involved in the plot line of the movie. Like if they want to have like, oh, Ant-Man uses the time vortex to get out and whatever, like that's fine. But I don't want time travel to be a major part of the storyline and a major part of how they defeat Thanos. I feel like that'll just create a lot of complication, and I hope they don't pull a Fox and like, oh, these other movies never existed now because we had to fix everything,
Yeah.
and like that's what I don't want.
For me, for my Avengers Endgame wish is that Captain America survives. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to get killed off. But
I don't know.
I'm
I think
wishing that he.
I think it's going to be Iron Man. I don't think they're going to kill off both of them. I mean, they might, but I feel like Iron Man is the most likely to get killed off because Cap might come back.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Cap survives. That's my wish.
Okay, well, I have a Game of Thrones one. I could have just said it when you did yours, but
that's right.
mine is that Jon Snow becomes king. I want him to sit on the Iron Throne.
My next one is that The Walking Dead kind of gets their mojo back a little bit. I will say, so we're still 2 episodes behind, but the episode that aired right after Rick's final episode, I actually felt was promising. It was actually like pretty good, and I was like, it made me a little more interested in what the coming episodes. I mean, obviously not too interested. We're still 2 episodes behind. But so I'm hoping that they kind of get their 4th wind and get that show back on track, because it's always been a favorite, but there's been some seasons lately that have been really rough to get through.
All right. My wish list for Star Wars Episode 9 is that it doesn't suck.
That kind of echoes mine. Mine is that, it restores my faith in the Star Wars movies, because
Episode 8, I still have only saw it the one time in
and I
theaters.
have no desire to see
And
it
it's
again.
just like, it's on Netflix, and I'm just like...
I can't get myself to watch it.
I'm like, I'll watch it before I go see Episode 9, but, I mean, yeah. So I hope that Episode 9 is good and that it doesn't suck.
Yeah, and then a little side note is that I hope that the last appearance of Princess Leia, like, kind of does her character justice. And
True.
that it doesn't leave you either, like, hanging or it's,
Awful, and you're like,
yeah,
"Oh, this should be
I'm like, oh, why did they do that? So I'm kind of hoping that Carrie Fisher's last appearance kind of does her character justice. So my next one is that the new Disney streaming service, Disney Plus, picks up all the canceled Marvel shows, including the yet to be canceled but will be canceled, The Punisher and Jessica Jones. I hope they pick them all up, because I want to. I mean all of them, like not just Daredevil and not I think they should pick them all up, because even though Iron Fist had a rough first season, and the second season wasn't like amazing, but it was pretty good.
The second half of it was really good, and they set it up for what could be a really promising third season.
Yeah. And so I want to see those shows pop up on there, because some of those have a lot of stories.
I pretty much had the same thing. It's just mine was that I hope they announce what the future plans for those shows are going to be, and don't just leave us hanging like, because I think there's speculation or rumors that they have to wait at least 2 years before Disney would be able to use those characters, because they're like signed under like a Netflix original like kind of deal, so they have to wait like the 2 years before they'd be able to use them.
We don't know if that's true or not. So
but I don't know if that's even true or not. But if it is, like, I just hope that even if that is the case, I hope that Disney at least comes out and
when this
and
timeline
lets us
is
know,
up,
what the future plans are. Whether they just come out and say we're not using those characters at all. Like, I'm sorry, we know you like them, but
or
it's over.
in the TV shows, because I feel like eventually they could be like, we want to use Daredevil in the movies.
I don't know. I would feel, because it's all supposed to be one
know.
continuity, so they'd either have to say those didn't exist within the same, and then it gets messy.
It gets messy. But,
so anyways, regardless, I just hope they don't just kind of keep us hanging and in the dark about it. I hope they just come out, either say yes, we are gonna move forward with something regarding these characters, or just simply come out and say, I'm sorry, but it's over for those characters, we're gonna move on to something else, and just that way we at least know, and aren't just gonna be wondering.
Yeah. My next one is also Disney Plus. that they don't oversaturate us with Star Wars and Marvel TV shows.
Oh,
Because there's
yeah,
already
or
like
movies or whatever.
they want a Loki, and there's been talk of a Scarlet Witch, and
Vision.
and then there's
Bucky and
Bucky
Soldier.
and Falcon. Bucky is the Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Bucky and Falcon.
Bucky and Falcon, yeah.
And then there's already a Star Wars series that's like in production,
Which is like, you know, the Mandalorian.
no, I know, but I
shows.
just mean
That'd
I
be
hope
okay.
that they don't like. Here's like 5 other Star Wars series, and here's like 18 more Marvel series. It's
Yeah,
let's-
I mean, do it within moderation. Because there are a few other Star Wars storylines I would like to see. The Old Republic, based on the Old Republic Star Wars games and stuff like that, that I feel like they'll probably never make movies about. So, I mean, I'd be okay with them, you know, making certain, you know, kind of move away from the current Star Wars story. Like, don't just keep making Star Wars shows that fall within the timeline of between Episode 1 and Episode 9, but, you know, explore other times and other locations and other things that, you know, might interest us a little bit more, rather than just kind of just keep throwing the same thing at us over and over again.
Yeah, like let's talk about how Palpatine. Let's watch him grow up. That'd be funny, actually.
So I have a wish for the Godzilla movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
I hope that I hope that 11 sends all the monsters back to the upside down at the end of the movie.
Yes, that would be nice. Because the trailer, like, they totally have her looking 11-y.
And even like
Which she's like, and then the stuff, yeah. So,
so like there's a little crossover there. There's all within the
this is what she's
same
been doing. Yeah,
universe.
it's all connected. My next one, which will never happen, hope it does. But I would like the Marvel movies to recognize the televisions in some way. Now, it doesn't have to be we're having the TV characters pop up in the movies, but maybe you have like a news story playing in the background where it's like, oh, Quake is that Quake is like doing something somewhere, or they're just something in the background, like letting us, hey, those shows exist. Because right now, even though it's all connected and everything's supposed to be like...
Or like drop a line like, oh, like have Nick Fury and
Maria Hill
or something, like, like almost like as one of the characters walking into a room and they're discussing like, oh, there's vigilantes in New York or something, like referencing Daredevil and Luke Cage and all them, like just something that would kind of draw everything a little bit more together.
Because it's kind of annoying that the movies, like the TV shows have always, especially Shield's always recognize what happens in the movies, but then the movies don't ever recognize what happens on Shield. So it would be kind of just a little bit to kind of piece everything in.
And then I have one for both Aladdin and Lion King.
Oh, I have some for those as well.
I just kind of hope that they follow suit with Beauty and the Beast, and that they make both of those the musicals that the cartoons were, and that they have all those original songs in it. I mean, they can add new songs like Beauty and the Beast did if they want. That's completely fine. I just, I want to see a lot of the original songs from Lion King and Aladdin in the live action as well, and kind of follow suit with what they did.
Here's like a bug or something. Mine is that Disney doesn't ruin my childhood. Dumbo's really before my time, but with Dumbo, Aladdin, Lion King,
We grew up watching those.
Toy Story 4, like let's not ruin what I grew up on. So I'm hoping that they live up to the standards that they've actually already done, because Jungle Book was really good, Pete's Dragon was really good, I liked Beauty and the Beast.
And what we've seen of the trailers, I mean, Lion King looks like it. I mean, it looks like it's going to be good.
Well, the trailer was a shot-for-shot remake of the
which they did for Beauty and the Beast too. Their first trailer was like a shot-for-shot too.
So,
but it looked good visually, and I feel like there's not too much they can do with
and that's
that.
Not really
I feel like they're going to be.
But...
I mean, it's not, but I feel like they're going to be following pretty close beat by beat to what the animation was. But I mean, they'll make it probably a little bit longer, add a little bit more detailed context to it. But I feel like it'll be following pretty closely to the other story. So I feel like it's going to be a pretty good movie.
And that Mufasa lives.
Like, one little change. Mufasa doesn't die. He goes back at the very end. He's like, hey guys.
My next one is that Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which premieres this week. He doesn't watch it. You should watch it. It's really funny. Premieres because it got canceled by Fox, got picked up by NBC. So my wish is that it premieres with good enough ratings this week that NBC like immediately gives it another season, like a season 7. So we're not having to wait and playing this game again that we've done, I feel like, since Brooklyn Nine-Nine premiered, where it's like, is it going to be picked up? Is it going to be picked up? Like, I just want to, you know, it to premiere and then NBC be like, you know what, here's season 7. So we can just be like, oh, okay, great. Now we can kind of relax and enjoy season 6. So that would be really nice.
I have one for Toy Story 4. I hope that it doesn't make everyone cry again.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that you didn't want to make everyone cry with what your wish was going to be.
No, my wish for the movie is that it doesn't make everybody cry like Toy Story 3 did.
Oh, yeah, Toy Story 3 was like so depressing at the end.
Which it doesn't seem promising because like the interviews with
Tim Allen
where he's like, oh man, those last few scenes were so hard and emotional to get through. And I was like, great.
I know, like, fantastic. And then my final one is that all the reboots and revivals stop.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That includes movies. Stop. Stop remaking. Stop rebooting. Stop
It's
reviving.
time to get creative again.
I know. It's time to, put on your thinking cap, Hollywood, because
If all the old writers don't know what to do, then let's get some new writers.
I know. I can't see, I mean, and some of it's like shows that like ended maybe
Recently,
within 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're being like revived, or they're looking into being revived or rebooted, and it's
Because
you-
like
you
Hollywood's just
can't-
like, we're out of ideas. We
I
gotta,
know.
like...
It's just stop. I mean, I get like some of the 90s nostalgia, you know, with like Fuller House and like some other things. But when you're reviving shows that ended within the last decade, that doesn't make any sense. Like if you wanted to do like a reunion special, like an hour or 2 hour, depending on how long the show was originally, an hour or 2 hour like special episode, just like a little reunion thing, I would be okay with that. But to fully bring shows back that have only been off the air for 10 years, I mean, even longer than that, I mean, come on.
Actually, funny, I was kind of stepping on my next wish. My next wish was that I hope that in 2019 we get a Friends reunion episode.
See, but in one episode, I'm not asking for a Friends revival series.
No, I don't want more than one episode. I want like one 2 hour special.
What I've always wanted is that the reunion special to be just a Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Because those were like their big things. I mean, they had Christmas and stuff too, but they always had Thanksgiving, and I feel like those were their like big holiday episode. So if they were gonna come back for like a 2 hour Thanksgiving episode, I'd be totally okay with that. I don't want to see them bring it back.
No, they'll never live up to the original series. So I would never want to see more. I want 1 2 hour special. Get it out of our systems. Let us, just let us enjoy it. It'll probably
Invite
be a lot
us
of
to
fun.
the taping.
we
I'd like to go and see that. Because I tried the final 2 seasons of Friends. I tried to go and get
everybody
tickets.
was.
But but it was like invited audiences only. So it wasn't. And I was just. I did get to go to a Joey episode. That was not great. The experience, it was very long, and it was Joey, so the show wasn't that great. But there were some good guest stars. Anyways. I think that can. You have one more?
I have one more.
How did I have more than you? And then I ended up.
Because a lot of ours were the same
I
thing,
guess.
so I don't know.
Are you coming up with new ones? He's like, and I have one more.
No, I actually had one. It's actually another one for Avengers Endgame, and that is that they introduce the character Lady Death. It was a very pivotal character for Thanos, and I feel like I'm a little curious about what his storyline is going to be in this next movie now that he's kind of
Now that he's a farmer.
Yeah, he won it and just wants to be retired and
He's
left
like,
alone.
finally.
So I hope they kind of introduce Lady Death because I feel like that could.
Wasn't that supposed to be Hela?
Well, it was rumored. It was rumored that it
Yeah.
was just going to be Hela because that would be like a little bit more of like a grounded version of Lady Death instead of having a personified character of Death be in the Marvel universe. But I feel like in the comics, especially, he's known as the Mad Titan for a reason because he sometimes can be a little bit mentally unstable, and so they could go the route that the Infinity Gauntlet is
Poisoning
all
him.
powerful. Yeah, so absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it would kind of make him a little bit unbalanced in that he even if he's just imagining her and she's not even real or whatever the case may be. But I feel like her character could bring a lot out of him now that he has essentially won. And like, well, there's going to be not a whole lot left interesting for him to do in the movie while we're waiting for the Avengers to kind of fix everything. So I feel like bringing her character and making him a little bit more insane would actually kind of make the character a little bit more interesting going forward. So that was my final wish.
All right.
So we have a lot to look forward to this
And
year.
hopefully all my wishes come true. But yeah, so let us know what you guys thought, what some of your wishes for this coming year for movies and TV, or if it's music, or we didn't really touch on music, but so yeah, let us know what you guys thought in the comments. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.